Welcome to a Fortify experience where in the next 10 minutes or so, I will be sharing with you a pass through a simple process that's personalized for you to quickly help you defuse feeling angry, because negative feelings can stop you from being the best that you can be or making the best out of the circumstances you're in, and it can keep you from moving forward on a positive path. So why is feeling angry so damaging or risky? Because among other things, it can cause you to say or do things you might regret later on. It can interfere with and might even prohibit you from thinking rationally or logically. And it can expose your lack of control, which could be damaging to your reputation and even future opportunities. During this process, you'll be filling in 7 blanks from A through G, so have a piece of paper and a pen or pencil handy so you can write down your answers. And if at any point during the video you need extra time to complete the statements, feel free to pause the video. And if at first you have trouble thinking of your own specific examples, feel free to use the examples in this video as your own. It'll still work. So let's begin the process. First statement is, the thing that bothers me the most about A is B. So in this case, we're going to write down feeling angry for A, and then write down why it really bothers you for B. So some examples could be, I feel angry all the time, or I don't know how to stop being angry, or maybe a specific person or situation is driving me nuts. So write down the thing that bothers me the most, A, write down your A is B, whatever your B is. The next statement is, the reason this bothers me is because it makes me feel C. Now this is your uncensored, real underlying feeling. It might be something like out of control, or it might be I feel devastated or ashamed of myself. Or maybe even I feel immature. So write down what your C is. The reason this bothers me is because it makes me feel C. So now here comes step 3. This is the key to the ingenuity and the effectiveness of the Fortify process. So here's where we're going to uncover the specific positive aspect within you that is unintentionally being ignored, dismissed, dishonored, or forgotten in this situation. This is a positive aspect. It's something that you love, value, or respect about yourself, and that you know to be true about yourself. And it's missing when you're feeling that C. The statement is, the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, or respect about myself is D, where D is some aspect of yourself that's not being used or honored in this situation. Examples could be, I value feeling calm, cool, and collected. Or maybe, I want to create positive situations or solutions. Another one could be, I see myself smarter than that. The statement is, again, the fact that I feel C demonstrates that the positive thing I love, value, or respect about myself is D. So write down your D, your personal D. Now in step 4, it's time to fortify D in your mind-body system. And this is easy because here you simply remember a time in your life when you were activating and using D, that positive aspect that you discovered in step 3. Now these are memories that remind you that you have been able to trigger that positive aspect D naturally and automatically in other situations in your past. The statement is, I know D because E. So now search your memory and find any pattern or circumstance in any area of your life that confirms the fact that you possess this positive attribute, D. And at this point, there could be many examples, but the simple ones often can be the best. So some examples could be, I love constructing stress-free situations. Another one could be, I want inner peace. Or maybe, I get respect at work. So now fill in your E for the statement, I know D because E. Now in step 5, it's time for you to think of a specific time when you experienced that positive value in the past. The statement is, a specific time when I really felt the strength and power of E was F. Again, examples could be, when I bought a used car with low mileage, or maybe when I had my son's birthday party at a fast food restaurant, or maybe when I was put in charge of a special project. So you think of a time when you really felt the strength and power of E, and then write down your personal F. So now we go into step 6. Remember back to that time F and re-experience that whole event and really feel what it felt like and really feel how good or strong it made you feel. Feel the inner strength from that experience that makes you feel inspired, empowered, or good about yourself. And make that feeling really strong. And then double it and triple it until you can feel that feeling vibrating throughout your whole body. And then identify in a word or two, what's the underlying real strength? The statement is, the underlying real strength that made F so powerful for me was G. Examples could be, I was being proactive, or I made a perfect decision, or maybe my competency was being valued. So fill in your G. Now for step 7, we're going into the copy process. This is where you're going to copy, embed that real strength G from another time in your life into that bother that you started out with. Now focus on that real powerful, real strength G in your body and hold on to it and make it really strong. And then double it and triple it until you can feel that G vibrating through your whole body. And then imagine taking some of that powerful energy G and putting it into a ball into one of your hands, doesn't matter which hand, while still holding on to that real strength G in your body. And feel that energy pulsating in your hand. You can actually feel what that energy feels like. So now, as you hold a ball of that powerful positive energy in one hand, remember what that old C feeling felt like? Put a ball of that energy C into the other hand. And now you're about to experience a powerful neurolinguistic programming technique that's awesomely effective. We're going to use that ball of positive energy G in your one hand as a solvent that will completely dissolve that energy C in your other hand. So as you bring your hands together and you see how those balls are starting to come together, start noticing how the positive energy is starting to literally dissolve the negative energy, and keep mixing that solvent of positive energy in with the negative energy until all of the C energy is totally and completely dissolved, and all you can feel is that positive energy G. And just keep doing this until you can only feel that positive energy G. So now let's see how you did. Start a new list and write down your original A. So now the original A is the same as you used before, feeling angry. And complete the following statement. The thing that bothers me the most about A, feeling angry, is B. Now write down your new B. And you may be surprised that your new B is different from your original B. And this is great because when this happens, it proves that your previously hidden inner strength has been both activated and installed into that negative issue that you started out with. Otherwise, your B would have been the same as it was before. This is the uniqueness of the Fortify process. It proves that your state of mind has progressed because it validates that you have transformed and shifted yourself into a different and perhaps more powerful state of mind or a more peaceful state of being. And this is a benefit you can't get from any other technique. So at this point, if you've not answered nothing for B, then it means that you need to come back and do more passes through the Fortify process so you can find and stack additional positive inner strengths into that negative situation. And each time you come back, use the newer B until you can finally answer nothing for B, or until you're satisfied with the progress that you've already made. See, depending on the complexity of the issue, I have repeated the process numbers of times before I could finally answer nothing for B. But that's when I'm able to really feel relieved, because then I don't feel the same grip or sting of the original situation. And not only that, but I can see myself feeling more in control, more self-confident, and recognizing options that I didn't realize that I had before. And when you just don't feel the same anymore, imagine how different things can be when a similar situation comes up in the future. Can you imagine how good you can feel having overcome situations in which you felt angry in the past? You might wind up being more surprised than you can imagine. Not only that, but by activating and embedding those previously hidden positive inner strengths, you have also boosted your self-esteem and your self-image for that situation. And these are things that cannot be taken away from you now that your real strengths have been brought into your conscious awareness. And don't be surprised if you find yourself exhibiting those real strengths in other areas of your life too, because now you're consciously aware that you have those real strengths, and that means you will now be able to use them to your advantage. Now, for me, it's always fun and eye-opening to do the Fortify process because it makes me feel good to find and activate inner strengths that I forgot that I had. I hope you have surprising and rewarding insights about yourself like I have had. So just remember to do the Fortify process whenever you think that you're in a no-choice situation, because you always have a choice when you have all the positive inner strengths and resources that you need in that situation. And that can make all the difference in the world. So now, thank you for joining us, and we suggest that you look at the other issues we covered in our YouTube videos to see what might apply to your other life situations. And tell your friends and family about these videos, because you never know who they can help. They're all free with no strings attached. We would also love to hear about your Fortify experiences, so send your comments to thefortifyexperience@gmail.com. And also check out our Facebook page and the Fortify Kindle book on Amazon.com by clicking on the links below. And please subscribe to our channel so that we can keep you informed of new information and new videos. Thank you so much for joining us. See you next time.